We were dreaming, no, of one day opening our own project.
With a very small budget, with all of our life savings, starting something like this was obviously scary.
I think flexibility and creativity is a must if you want to operate a restaurant here in the island.
One by one, pieces start getting in the right way, and that's when Roots came out.
My name is Ricardo Miranda de Sousa, and I'm the Director of Growth and Impact at Roots.
My name is Inés Castañeda. I'm one of the chefs of Roots and the creative director.
So I am Filippo Turrini. I'm the culinary director here at Roots, and I'm one of the chefs too in the restaurant.
I'm Marina Castañeda, and I think I have two roles here in Roots. The first one, and the most important one, is that I'm the art and design director of Roots. And then the second one, that it will be more in the operational level. I'm the curator of the experience of the guest in the front of the house.
Roots is a casual dining concept here on the island of Siargao, where we merge our roots, our backgrounds, our travels, and our life experiences, and we elevate them through Filipino ingredients. So we're an interdisciplinary team of founders. We're 6 founders.
And 5 of us, we were working in Central, in Lima, Peru.
Through work, we became close friends. 5 out of the 6 had been working in the hospitality industry for many years.
4 members of the team, we were living actually together. While we were living together, every night after the service, we start talking about our dreams and our vision about how we imagine gastronomy.
We were dreaming, no, of one day opening our own project.
Yeah, after all these conversations, dreams come true and sparked the idea of doing something different. No?
Eventually realized that there was so much more that could be done in the industry beyond the 4 walls of a restaurant, and that's where everything happened. That's where the idea or the seed was planted.
I think also we got influenced by Central and Mater Iniciativa with the vision of that there's more outside. So as chefs, we didn't want to stay inside of the kitchen. We wanted to go outside to make research, to meet different people, communities, and then bring all our ideas to the kitchen and share it with the guests.
So once we knew what we wanted to do, consideration for its impact on the environment, and the economic impact and the social impact, we had to find a location. And me being married to a Filipina, after a lot of research, it became evident that Siargao offered us the possibilities to implement our concept because of its biodiversity, because of its very strong community, and the diversity of that community as well. It was soon evident that it was the perfect location.
We didn't have any bank behind us, any big investors, so we were putting all our savings here. So we were a little bit afraid, maybe we are crazy to put all our savings here. And I would say that once we arrived here to Siargao, it was very easy to fall in love with the island. And then one by one, pieces start getting in the right way. And that's when Roots came out.
Since the beginning, it was very important to understand first the Siargao landscape in order to be able to create and maintain certain standards for our restaurant. So since the beginning, I think we went to the market pretty much every day since we've been here, and we always try to go a bit deeper. So from going to the market every day and asking where all these products were from, we realized that in Siargao, all the deliveries of the different fruits and vegetables were all coming from two different areas of the Philippines, that is mainly Davao and Cagayan de Oro. So we asked one of our collaborators in the market if we could go with him and to see where these products come from, because for us it was just from Cagayan de Oro. And so one day we went with them. So we grabbed the boat here in Siargao, we went all the way to Siargao, and there a 12 hours ride in the back of a truck during the night, and we arrived in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning in Cagayan de Oro market. And it's a huge market with so many different suppliers, so many different products. And this one was for us the beginning of the road of exploration and understanding a bit how the Filipino supplies work, because it's very different from different places where I've been working. And so we collaborate with different farms, especially in the north of the island, with Lokal Lab, and some farm here is close to GL2, like Siargao Organics. We always try to get as much as product from them as possible, because working with local products is always going to be better, and not only for the culinary side of how that product tastes, but for all the environmental and sustainability side too. You know, if a product comes 3 kilometers from here, it's always going to be better than a product that comes so far away.
They are still green.
Let's see if there is some flowers, because
Dale,
flowers
some.
of passion fruits are beautiful.
Marajao na buntag!
Marajao na buntag. Chun, 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 chun. So Analyn is one of the most wise women that I met here in the island, or maybe in my life. And she's one of the founders of Lokal Lab.
And from the beginning, she's been our guide in exploring Siargao biodiversity with all her immense knowledge of local flora and fauna.
The one that I saw first is Filippo, Ricardo, and Inés. They smile at me. The vibe is light, and then I asked him if you wanna go with me, so I will go to the fiesta. I bring them to the houses, so I let them experience what is fiesta, and then like the connection is already there on the first time that we meet, and then they promised to come back. And then when they come back, I did a proper tour to them. So like that was the friendship start. So yeah, I'm happy that like they trust me also. Inés Farm is the best urban gardening in the whole region for the 2024.
Region of Siargao del Norte.
The region of Siargao del Norte.
Ooh.
Nice.
It doesn't surprise me.
When we first arrived to the island, of course we're not from here and not from Siargao, not from the Philippines. So for us it's super very important always to first understand the landscapes where we are, understand the different products that we have locally and in the Philippines in general. And so we start looking for a local guide. So Analyn did us the tour in the beginning, show us all the different plants. And since the first day we met Analyn, we learned so much. And she probably saved our life many times, because when we go foraging, we like to try everything and put everything in our mouth. And a lot of times she say, no, 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 no. And thank you very much, Salamat, for that.
And since there, no, I think more or less once per month, we go outside to different places around Siargao with Analyn, and she's teaching us what it's edible, no, outside in the nature.
And how it's used traditionally here or in other parts of the Philippines, and why it is used or why not. And for us, this is the basic knowledge to start, learning and developing new things for Roots and for all our projects.
Normally, I'm never thinking of like creating a foraging class. So because of them, like, oh, I have like the hidden knowledge that I had in my mind. Lokal Lab decided to have a foraging class. So like they are really my original foraging team. So I told Mark, our CEO in Lokal Lab, that I have this idea because of the Roots people. Like they're really cooperative to me. They're really good. So we need to broaden our farming industry. Not only farming, bringing to General Ulam, but like there's great opportunity also to help the community in the other places in the interior area. So like yeah, because of them, like I will launch my like foraging maybe next year. So they will be my students. So this is one like livelihood to the people. The fruiting of this hibiscus will start on September, but this is the really high valued one.
Can we try the leaves?
Yes. I think the small is more sour and more tasty than this.
We will be using not these leaves tomorrow or tonight in
In the carpaccio.
We can harvest if you want.
Yeah,
So
can we
while
get
doing
some
the
of
foraging,
this
yes.
Very nice.
Lami lami. Everything in the way we started roots is the idea is always to bring our traditional recipes from the countries that we are from and the countries that we've been working in different places of the world. We use 90% of only Filipino ingredients, and we have a 10% of products that we cannot get here in the island and we need to bring from outside. But introducing local products like these are just baby hibiscus leaf. And this one usually you don't need them, but these one are like it's a super sour, tangy flavor. The idea is like I think we're humble enough to never try to make Filipino food. We're not Filipino and we're still learning so much, and Philippines is a country with so much biodiversity and cultures that before we could be able to make something real Filipino, I think maybe that's never. So what we're more familiar with is the recipe we grew up with and the recipe we've been done in our career, but always showcasing the incredible Filipino ingredients and Filipino biodiversity.
Yeah, I will say that the starting point is always the recipe. So in this case, for example, the lasagna, and then just trying to see how can we substitute some ingredients with Filipino ingredients. No, there's no sense here of using maybe Italian wine or Italian beef. So we need to be very resourceful and resilient, adapt to what the nature has to offer to us. Flowers are edible?
Yeah.
Can we try?
Yeah.
Oh, these ones are beautiful, eh?
And here medicinal plant, no?
And they are medicinal.
Do you want to bring some to Roots?
Yep.
Analyn, can we get some of these flowers?
Yes.
Where were the seeds from?
Puedes escribir.
When I started the farm, I normally liked Aritter to agriculture for us to be partner because I don't have knowledge. So I'm not a farmer. I'm a nurse by profession. Like I'm really wanted to help the community on the first place, especially women association. So like the first farm was in Burgos, so the Bayatakan farm. So composed of 23 women in the community. We normally apply crop rotation and like companion planting para we are not like using pesticides, so normally we don't kill the insects, so we will just let them confuse.
So we're playing hide and seek with a local vegetable called kundol.
So normally condor is a family of watermelons, yeah, but condor is native in the islands. The people of Siargao, we all know that it's edible, but nobody is eating this one because it's like the taste is like soury.
Because first time that when we arrived to the market, we were always trying to find ingredients that we didn't know what it were. We were looking for the weird things. And when Analyn showed us the kundol, we were like, oh, this is something very interesting. Because we have a dish that is a carpaccio. We use swordfish, malasugi, and we combine it with different wild herbs. One of these wild herbs is the gotu-kola, that is a medicinal plant here in the Philippines. It has, for me, kind of a bitter flavor, no? But goes very nice with the ajo blanco that we make with pili nuts. Centella asiática.
The season of pako is every September. It's like rainy season. So there's so much pako, but it's like this.
And this is actually a prehistoric plant. It's one of the oldest plants alive. And there is many different kinds. A lot of them are poisonous, but these one are not.
Yeah, this is edible.
Right?
I like it.
So this is probably one of our favorite forage ingredient from Siargao. So this one locally are called pepinitos. In English it will be creeping cucumbers. And this one we actually first discovered them. We were walking in one of the back roads and we saw some kids throwing these to each other. And they told us that, these kids told us this is edible, so we double checked with Analyn, always important. So this is the unripe fruit that is of a creeping cucumber, and it's a very cucumbery taste, super crunchy, a bit tangy. And this one in the beginning they were not commercialized, but since we start using them, local and other little farms here in Siargao start to sell them to other restaurants and to people to mix in salad and different ingredients in different dishes. And this is something that we think can be very good for different local communities.
Oh, sí, es una más grande todavía, ¿eh?
Ah, wow, esa. Vale, no, esa sí me tienes que levantar.
No sé si llegas, ¿eh? Uno, dos.
Sí, sí.
Dito sa Siargao Island, ito yung pinaka may malaking nipa na makukuha ka. So endemic siya dito sa Siargao, pero dito sa San Isidro ang may pinaka maraming nipa. So normally our river is 16 kilometers, so surrounded by nipa. And ang pinaprocess lang namin dito is yung pawod. So in Tagalog is pawid. Yun ang ginagamit para sa bubong ng mga bahay. That is one of the livelihood na pero si Roots pa lang ang nag-order sa amin ng nipa flour para gawing recipe sa kanilang restaurants. Normally nipa is like a coconut here in the island. So, diba coconut has so many byproducts. So, ganito rin si nipa. So, maybe in the future, we will invite other agencies of the government who will process byproducts of nipa like nipa sugar and then nipa wine.
Kuya, can we get that small nipa?
Ang kinukuha nila is yung talagang parang we call it in Bisaya punto. So yung tamang-tama lang talaga. Depends sa color. Kasi kapag yung matanda na, so nagda-darken na, so para siyang niyog, pero maliliit lang. But the taste is, for me, perfect kasi meron siyang maalat na lasa.
Mira esta, bebé!
Salamat ka na dyan, kuya.
The most beautiful flower bouquet ever. Beautiful, no?
And this is the nipa. So this is the fruit, and inside you have some pods. All of these inside you have this coconut jelly, feels like. And it's very, very nice. Salamat ka na dyan. So there is these black clams that they live underneath the mud. So it's very difficult to see them because they just come on top just a touch. So you really need to have some experience.
Normally, the best time to catch for the black clams is low tide. So it's still high tide today, so it's really hard to find.
¿Quieres esta nipa grande? And what we use here in Roots, we just collect the nipa flour when it's this medium stage, because inside of these pods, what we're gonna find is different. It's like a coconut lychee sort of like that is actually edible, and it's actually pretty nice. And here's the nipa flour.
I just here in the tree, but like the clams.
Wow, so beautiful, eh?
Mari, do you have a picture with the t-shirt and the nipa? Because all our t-shirt is made with all the different ingredients we're either using or still researching and see what we can do with it.
So, well, I think Analyn can talk more about how local people use it. But for us, well, first thing as on an aesthetic level, it's very nice and very different to any other fruit. You can remove all these small seeds, and when you open in the inside, you have like a lychee size. but kind of a flavor like a coconut. And for us, when Analyn showed to us the nipa flower, we fall in love with this fruit. And now we are using it in the restaurant for the carpaccio. So what we do is remove all the fruit and then we just pickle it in nipa vinegar. What I think is very interesting is that everyone knows the nipa because it's very traditional for the roots.
I think we're always scared. But everything we try to serve, we don't just want to serve food, to feed somebody. It's just we always try to give important to every product, the supplier, the collaborator, the way we like to call all of our supplier. We try always to give a meaning to it. So if nipa is so important in this landscape and in the social landscape of the island too, because with the leaf you make the roofing, with the juices itself you make vinegar, you make wine, you make a distill out of it. So if the fruit is here is so abundant and we can actually eat it and we can present something new that has a very interesting flavor, very interesting texture, you can change in base of how ripe the fruit is. And it's something that a lot of people grew up with, and for us we're just showcasing because it's really an incredible product that it's here and it's amazing to use.
Another side that we are very interesting and always try to add always in our menu is the forage ingredients. So since we arrived, we've been foraging in different places in Siargao with such a different landscapes, from mangrove to the mountains of Siargao. And there we find a lot of products that are not commercially available usually. But since we started using, other people are starting to use it too. And this one something that we're very proud of and we're very happy because in a place like Siargao, where the weather and the soil sometimes can be very harsh and difficult for farmers to grow and maintain certain standards and certain quantity that the market require, forage products can always be available pretty much any time of the year. I think flexibility and creativity is a must if you want to operate a restaurant here in the island. For various reasons, sometimes you are in lack of a lot of different products. And this can really challenge the way you work and the way you create. So since the beginning, we decided to have a very short menu, and the menu will be printed every day because sometimes we change the whole menu every 2 days, every day, every week. It really depends on market availability.
Una, nagsimula talaga yung Sikat dito noong 2012 sa bayan ng Del Carmen para maprotektahan yung mangrove nila doon. Yung focus ng Sikat is community-based coastal resource management, disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation, and women and children safeguarding. Yun po yung focus talaga ng Sikat. Sa seaweed farming, ito ay supported ng European Union, and then nagpo-focus lang talaga siya sa mga women's. So nakita kung ano ka-responsible yung mga women sa livelihood na pag-uusapan. Hindi lang na binigay lang namin yung seaweed, pero tiningnan talaga yung behavioral change ng mga grupo. Doon nakita namin na pwede siyang mabigyan ng social enterprise as a group na pwede nilang pangalagaan hanggat mapasa nila sa mga anak man nila or sa mga kakilala man nila.
Ito ang hanap buhay namin dito. 2000 to, tapos after audit, nagsimula na rin kami. Nawas out lahat ng tanim dito sa dagat. Bahay, lahat, oo. Talaga nahirapan kami noon. Talaga nahirapan kami. Ang tagal namin makabangon. Kung wala pong Sikat, siguro Wala rin kaming walang mga project nga dumating dito. Tapos isa pa, maka-savings kami dito para lang kami makabangon, makabili kami ng yung atop.
After ng audit, nagbigay sila ng project sa seaweed farming. Founder ng European. Wala nang buyer ngayon. Nandito ang buyer kasi bumaba ng presyo.
Isang beses na nag-message yung grupong Roots sa Facebook page namin kasi nakita nila yung seaweed farming sa ibang munisipyo namin na tinutulungan na feature nung bumaba si ambassador ng EU. Nakita nila yung article na meron pala ditong supply ng seaweed. So, nag-contact sila through Facebook page namin and then doon na nagsimula, nag-usap na kami with Marina and the team. Sinama sila namin dito sa Barangay Montserrat para makilala nila yung mga seaweed farmers at para kung wala na kami, pwede sila dumiretso. Yung sa amin naman, gusto namin makonect yung community sa market or sa mga taong nangangailangan kung ano man yung meron yung community na tinutulungan namin.
I will say that when they enter, one thing it will be that we want to tell stories, no? We want to showcase also different collaborators around Philippines. This is an artistic wall installation where we showcase some of the ingredients that we use in the menu. Every night, that wall is different. And what we want to showcase is how, for us, the protagonist of the experience is the ingredients. And the hands will represent the people who is behind a dish. In this case, it will be the farmers, the fishermen, and everyone who takes care of the ingredients until arrive to our plate. So one of the most iconic elements in Roots is our tables. It is a mix between recycled plastic and wood. We've been inspired in a project that is called Precious Plastic. It's a worldwide project. I personalized the machine for my size. I went to different dams in Manila, in Antipolo, looking for trash at the end. What the machine makes is to press the plastic and melt it at the same time. Then we brought these trash boards, and with a group of local carpenters, they call green artisans, we did the joint between plastic and wood. Also, a little bit about the lamps. We did it with a group of indigenous women in Cagayan de Oro. They are made with craft paper and ink with atsuete. Every service, I will say, is like to receive people into your house and show them, in this case, what is Philippines through the ingredients, through our recipes, showcase the important or the amazing ingredients that Philippines has.
We will start the briefing in 3 minutes, eh?
So, service night, it's the end of the work, but the most important part too. It's that moment when the guests come in, and it's that moment where you really have to give your best to give the guests the best experience they can have. And we don't just want to feed the stomach, we want to feed the mind too. And this is something that makes us very happy, and we are so proud and humbled by how well we were received, especially from Filipino, because we're not from here. And without the Filipino people support, we couldn't be able to do anything, to learn anything, and there is so much to learn. And when a Filipino person tells us, oh, I didn't know this was made in the Philippines, we are so proud of that. And we're proud of the Filipino products, and if a Filipino learns something new from us, for us this is just unbelievably nice.
I would say that I'm a very structured person. I like to be creative, but if you don't have mind structure, it's very difficult to be creative, no? So I think that I'm calm during the service because you have a structure in your mind about what is happening in that moment and to have control of the situation. It's been almost 1 year since we opened Roots, and I can say that we are very lucky for the team and the people that is behind Roots. And of course, without them, this would never be possible. Okay guys, let's start with the tasting route. Today we have bread, butter and ampalaya oil. We keep the same ampalaya as the other day, We continue with swordfish carpaccio. We have pilina at sajo blanco, calamansi koshu, and as well herbs today we will have hibiscus leaves, gotu kola, siargao, and nipa flower. We continue with our ceviche, the catch of the day, red snapper. We have coconut tiger milk and pickled sincamas. We continue with our lazy raviolone, Filipino guayo ragu, sitaw and borracho goat cheese. And as a main, we have tuna today. Today arrived a 24-kilo yellowfin tuna. We have camote leaf, tapoy, and siargao chimichurri. As desserts, we have calamansi pie and cacao and chili.
All right, guys, so it's been a very busy and hard week. So I want to thank you all for all the hard work during this week. Let's have a great service, yeah?
Let's have a good service. Let's go with 2 snacks, please. And guys, new check-in, 2 tasting menu, fire, 1 carpaccio, 1 bread basket, and 1 butter, please. Okay, Aya, please, 2 butters.
Tonight you will be having our tasting menu, consisting of a 7-course meal. Some dishes will come individually, other dishes will come in the center to share.
Okay, I need 1 bread basket with 1 carpaccio, please. Aya, please, 2 butters. Zai, get extra hands, please. Give me another watermelon without dairy. We can start going with this one and this one, please. Isa, sorry, let's change of plans. Let's make 1 small carpaccio, no raw, and 1 regular carpaccio small. And please put it in the ticket because you only put no raw. So I imagine that is the 2 person no eating raw. And Zai, serve your own onion emulsion. You are going to table 12, please.
The catch of the day is oyong oyong. Underneath you will find a sweet potato puree and on top pickled sincamas. Now I'm going to add the leche de tigre or tiger milk in English. It's a traditional Peruvian sauce. In this case we did a twist, adding coconut milk. We get inspiration from the Kinilaw. Enjoy!
Thank you.
I cannot say anything else. Surprise, surprise.
We cannot say it.
Next question.
The end goal of Roots, I think we're going to have to wait a bit for it. As the name suggests, these are just roots. Chaos is coming.